Before we begin, a small reminder. As you can see, we already started talking about a little bit more complex things, for example, like ATR and indicators and so on and so forth. And if you are already a little bit frustrated, don't worry. First, we'll be covering these rules and details and tools one by one. And then in the next chapter, we'll already start putting them together into a trading system that you will be able to use to actually make money and trade. So don't worry, you can do it. You just have to bear through this and remember that the learning process can be very difficult and frustrating. And then once you start trading, you'll be very, very happy that you spent so much time on learning and that you bared through this process and became a great trader. Now let's talk about the next rule, which is called the back into trend rule. Now this rule applies only to indicator trading. You can write this down in your notes right by the name of the rule that we're going to be talking right now. This rule will come in extremely handy in the next chapter when we're going to start learning actual trading system with indicators. Now the main point of this rule is as follows. So for example, we can see here a downtrend. And the same goes for the MACD, the nice confirmation, the convergence of these two waves. But then here we can find the first weakness of the trend. So we have the so-called divergency. I really hope that you remember what is a divergency. And so we can see it here. Now, if we were to believe it, we could enter into climbing prices or open a long position with the beginning of the next candle. So here is this candle. So let's mark it. So we've entered into climbing. Now, let's see if it actually works. And now here we might get very, very frustrated, but we don't do anything just yet. Now we are a little bit happy around this place. However, it still is not working. And as you can see, there are quite a few small waves here. Here is a small wave, this is a super small wave, and here, this one is also a very, very small wave. Now, these are very, very small details in the price that you can see, and you can interpret them as a very, very small, but a weakness for our decision of going into climbing prices, so opening the long position. And as we can see that we've had quite a nice trend going down previously, and we thought that because of this divergency, we might be actually changing the trend direction and going up. But actually by seeing these small details right here and being in a long position and already having a minus, we might actually change back into trend. So this is where this rule is coming from. So if we have a nice falling trend right here, and we decided that maybe the trend will change the direction, but we see that it's not happening, and we see such details as these, as the last small wave peak, the top wave is lower than the previous one, we might entertain a possibility of changing back into trend. So once again, if we were into falling from around this position here, so we had a short position, and around this place we changed into a long position, into climbing because of this nice looking divergency, then here we could see that it's not working and that we might as well change back into trend, back into this falling trend. And this kind of a move oftentimes works in the market, and until this day I still use it somewhat, and it is very useful for you to understand the concept of back into trend rule. It will come in very, very handy later on. So let's mark our entry with the beginning of the next candle. So imagine we've entered here into falling, and let's see if the trend continues. And yes, the trend works yet again. So we are quite happy, and we go beyond this bottom wave right here, and it all is looking quite nice. So this is pretty much the rule of back into trend. So there you have it, a really small but very technical rule of going back into trend when you see that your decision was incorrect and you see that there is a little bit more power still for the trend that was going on and that you were in. And going back into trend makes the most sense in this kind of a situation. And this is pretty much how back into trend rule works, right? Good luck on your test and have fun with your homework, and I'll see you in the next lesson.